it doesn't look good. We at the most recent reporting that I saw, Silvergate is approaching being under collateralized for its balance sheet, which could lead to intervention by the FDIC. Some people expect it as soon as tonight. And that is because, as we've seen over the last few days and the past couple of weeks, they've had a lot of big withdrawals from major customers taking their business elsewhere. The story is very complex, but essentially Silvergate is going down with a lot of the rest of the crypto industry. Pardon me. And as a result, we're now seeing some big market sell-offs as well. It's a little unclear to me why exactly the market is dumping on the news of this one bank. It might be more about headlines than actual substance, but it certainly is a signal that crypto winter continues, and people who are trying to base businesses on the crypto sector are having a hard time. Pardon me, I'm going to cough, and I'll let somebody else pick up where I'm leaving off.
I think it's just worth saying that Silvergate. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry, it's just worth saying that Silvergate for the crypto industry is a systemically important institution. Crypto companies have struggled to find banking services, and they were one of the few institutions, especially in the early days, to step in and provide that on-ramp, off-ramp for crypto. So news of its demise or its troubles is troubling for the industry at large, especially in the context of more traditional institutions also being under pressure from the Feds recently to steer clear of cryptos. This is another kind of sign of banking troubles for the industry.
I think a lot of it will eventually. Oh, sorry, David. I think a lot of it will eventually shake out. A lot of it will eventually shake out once. I think once everything settles down a bit with Silvergate, they've got an extra. They're asking for a 2-week extension on getting their books in order and filing their reports. So it might all work out a little bit better for them in the end once we actually get to see what their status is and what's going on with them. Once people start to move their funds somewhere else, and hopefully not just be selling it off continuously. Sorry, go ahead, David.
Yeah, sorry, I had myself muted. Yeah, but I think that is also kind of the point that I'm making, is that we are seeing big players successfully transition their businesses to other banking partners. So we had Paxos and I think Coinbase and a few others who have already just set up relationships elsewhere. So this larger narrative of what people have called choke point 2.0, this idea that there is a federal level effort to stop banks from interacting with crypto companies at all, that might or might not turn out to actually be accurate, because we are seeing people make those changes to different partners. It's also important to keep in mind that, as far as I can tell, and I haven't dug deeply into this, but there's a really important distinction between what's happening at Silvergate and what happened at like FTX. Silvergate does seem to be experiencing a liquidity crunch rather than any kind of solvency issues. They have assets backing up all of their deposits. And they are just, we're in a down market for a lot of things right now. So, for example, if they put some of that money into equities, they might be having, liquidity issues that are short term while still being solvent long term. I don't know that for a fact, but that seems to be the case. So that is an important distinction to make as well.
And one of the things that they did bring up also in one of yesterday's articles was that there are short sellers involved in this. So you're dealing with sort of, I don't want to say attack, but you're looking at situations where it's more than just, as you say, it's a liquidity issue as opposed to something systemically wrong with the bank itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and it will be a problem in the short term if this leads to bigger hurdles for people looking to get banking. Obviously, a lot of the people transitioning out of Silvergate are kind of blue chip crypto companies who don't have the same reputational risk as smaller players or upstarts might. So this could definitely be a headwind. But my personal take is I think that it's being overplayed in terms of the macro risk. I don't think this merits a 5% drawdown in Bitcoin, for example. So, we could have an opportunity here for people who are willing to accept some of that risk from people getting out. Ben?
I guess I have a darker interpretation of this. I mean, I think sentiment is reality here, and this is a bank that's under pressure. It's not hugely capitalized compared to major institutions, so I think it is problematic for Silvergate and for the industry. And I just want to point out that SBF famously said that Silvergate, there was a before Silvergate and after Silvergate impact on crypto markets. And I think if there's an after Silvergate impact, that could also be seriously impactful for the industry.